So, Ken, what are some of the hot topics in EVs and beyond?
Oh, great question. So, if I break that into two parts, right, we'll think about electric vehicles first. What's going on in the electric vehicle space, particularly for utilities now, is a significant more progress in really thinking about make-ready programs and fleet vehicle programs for large customers. And along with that, rate design, either time of use rates or some of the more interesting novel idea around subscription rates for electric vehicle owners. So, those are some of the big topics. We're also starting to see vehicle to grid pilots now finally coming
Yeah.
online, which has been a long time coming for those of us in the space. And now if I switch to the other part, the and beyond part, what about other things besides vehicles? So enhanced smart grid, really thinking about smart grid and going beyond just the wires and poles to getting onto the building side to turn buildings into dispatchable load is a really interesting electrification topic that sits right alongside transportation as being important for decarbonization.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope we get some good abstracts. I'd like to hear more about the vehicle to grid as well. So, what is an innovation that you think will be really important to discuss at next year's DTECH? It's not till next February. Something that you think will be important.
Well, I think that many utilities are still grappling with what do we do about electrification to get the most advantage for our customers? Do we actually subsidize make-ready investments and EVSE equipment for vehicle owners who are our customers or not? Is that fair or not fair to other ratepayers? And similarly, how do we think about rate design for those customers? Do we subsidize rates because of the societal benefit that everyone will take advantage of? Or do we keep rates the same because that's fair actually for all other customers who can't afford, who don't yet have an electric vehicle? So, those are really the cutting innovation areas of great practical interest for most utilities. And I think I would fully expect to see a lot of abstracts and a lot of potential content in those areas.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, if you could design like your ideal dream panel or presentation, what would it be?
I love it. So electrification is still pretty new, not new necessarily in terms of technology, but new in terms of what does it really mean for programs, for rates, for markets, and for customers. So for me, what I would really love to see is a panel that does a survey and a look ahead of the technologies and programs and regulations and market drivers that are really going to act to influence electrification investments in both transportation and the building sector in particular, over the coming years. I think that our audience would really benefit from seeing a broad overview of all of the different aspects of that.
Nice. All right. Final thoughts on EVs and beyond?
You know, we're really anticipating great interest in both vehicle electrification as well as, building and other loads that are amenable to electrification. And, I think we're expecting a really interesting mix of both practical advice and experience that are coming from utilities and suppliers and customers that have started to move in this space, but then also some very interesting forward-looking views about where this is all headed in the future, with coming programs and technologies that we're all, I know, going to be very interested in to hear about.
Indeed. Well, I'll see you in person, let's hope, next February in DTECH. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jennifer.